Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Slice and Dice eCom. I'm Josh, the founder of ClickSlice, and I'm joined by
Julia, Operations Director at ClickSlice.
So in this first episode, what we want to do is discuss which marketing channel in particular is best for ecom brands. Let's be honest, there's so many different platforms out there. You have Meta, you've got Google Search, you've got paid search, you've got social, and it can be a little bit overwhelming at times, right? Like, where should you focus your efforts if you want to grow your business? So in this episode, we're going to break down every single part so you have a much clearer picture on what to expect and what you should do if you want to grow your ecom brand. So Julia, right? You are operations director.
Yeah.
You oversee all of our campaigns for all of our clients, and a lot of our clients are running Facebook ads, Google ads, and all different types of various channels. So in your experience of communicating with our clients, what would you deem to be the most effective channel for an ecom brand?
I think that's a very tough question. It really depends on your goals. So it depends if you're looking to build brand awareness, customer acquisition, customer retention, increase sales. Setting your goals is going to help you map out the best strategy for your marketing channels. So, in my opinion, let's say if your goals are to generate sales in the next 30 days, then SEO, for example, isn't the best choice for you. So, that's the most important part, setting your goals.
For sure. Yeah, it's quite interesting. We do a lot of sales calls, or I do a lot of sales calls at the agency, and I always get clients like, "Yeah, I want to do SEO. I want results next week." And it's like, like that's not really how SEO works. Like, you're trying to build
a dream.
Yeah, you're trying to build a relevance and authority, right? So, like, I think that's a really good point you highlighted. Like, aligning your goals with a marketing strategy is really, really important. So, touching on that, right? You've got organic search, and paid social, right? So, let's start with the first one, paid search. What would you say the pros and cons are of running a paid search campaign?
So with Google Ads, you get immediate visibility and sales, and also you can target specific audiences and demographics. However, on the flip side, once you stop spending, you stop generating sales.
Awesome. And I think that's something brands need to be aware of as well, because paid ads are great and you can generate a lot of revenue from paid ads. But as soon as you start running the ads, your sales and your traffic is non-existent. So there's lots of stories that I speak with a lot of clients on discovery calls where they're running paid ads and all of a sudden Facebook just bans that ad account. And all of a sudden their revenue tanks overnight. They've got staff, they've got orders they can't fulfill. It's a lot of problems that you don't want to have. But again, it's not all cons for paid ads, as you said. There's lots of pros as well. So comparing paid ads to organic search, right, like SEO, kind of what we offer at the agency, what would you say the pros and cons are of that marketing channel?
So with SEO, I'm just going to start with the cons to tie it up to paid ads. Obviously, it takes longer. So if you're eager and your goals are, going back to goals, to generate sales in the next 30 days, then definitely that's the downside of SEO. It's not going to help you. However, in the long term, one of the biggest pros of SEO is that it's sustainable and it's a long-term investment. And once those rankings kick in, and organic traffic starts coming in, it's gonna stay there even if you stop spending. It's just making sure you do the bare minimum to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, no, also, I think to touch on that as well, with organic search, which not a lot of people realize is when you run paid ads, you have your paid ad campaign, your ad group, your keywords, right? And you put a budget for each campaign and each ad group. And it doesn't really compound. You just have your allocated budget for each ad group. But when you're doing SEO and you're building the backlinks, increasing your authority, your site as a whole becomes more stronger, more authoritative, which means if you want to publish new product categories, new SKUs in the future, you can do that and sometimes even rank without doing no additional SEO. So you are really building a really strong asset that you can use for the future.
On that point, we were just talking actually with a client last week and we were looking at keywords ranking and we saw a lot of other categories that weren't necessarily our focus, but they started ranking on page 1 and they were like, wow. And I was explaining, that's SEO and that's what it does. And it's just building on that momentum and it compound effect basically. So
awesome. Yeah. And speaking on the last one, right, paid social, like how do you think that differs from paid search and organic search?
I think it's more for brand visibility, creating a community around your brand. And obviously, those are the most used social platforms. So social is used every day by everyone. But I think the downside is we get targeted so much with ads that you kind of get not bored. You think you lost control. So you feel like you're not in control of your purchasing decisions. So that would be the downside of ads. And also, sometimes I keep seeing the same ad all over again.
Ad fatigue,
Yeah, and it gets too much at one point. So that would be kind of the pros. The
Yeah.
cons, sorry.
And I would say like the biggest issue I see with paid social as well is like when you're on Instagram, you're normally on there to look at your friend's post or like something, and you don't really want to be looking at business stuff. So there's no search intent as well, which ties into that. So, you know, when a user's on Instagram, they're not actually searching for any product or service. So when you put your ad in front of them, you're basically bidding on the chances of your ad being relevant to that audience. And yes, you can have audience targeting, audience settings, but as you know, with iOS 14, all the updates of GDPR and cookie tracking, ads are becoming less and less effective, which I know most paid ad agencies won't like to admit, but you know, we just like to speak on the facts here and just be balanced. Same with organic SEO, there's a lot of downsides to it as well. So I think the fact there's no search intent, I would say, in my opinion, is one of the biggest issues with paid social. You know, where if you compare it to organic search, if you sell electric bikes and someone goes onto Google, searches for electric bikes, guess what? They are looking for an electric bike.
Yeah, so you're capitalizing on demand.
Exactly.
There's always already demand there. So,
and I always say that life is already so difficult and hard. So like, don't make it harder for yourself by trying to sell to people that aren't even looking for your product, may not have the budget or may not be interested in your service. So again, I think it's a lot more effective and faster to focus on SEO, in my opinion. But like I said, there's pros and cons of each. I think
it depends on your goals.
100%. Okay. So I guess taking it in consideration, right? Like, what would be your advice for a brand on the whole? If they said to you, Yulia, I'm starting a Shopify website next week, I'm going to be selling maybe chains or necklaces, right? Like, what marketing channel should I do? Like organic search, paid search, or paid social?
There's no right or wrong option and not one right channel. I think you should go for an omni-channel approach. And that's just going back to setting up your goals. If it's just the beginning and you want to build your brand, obviously you want to focus more on that. If you just want to generate quick sales, so then you can reinvest that into other digital marketing strategies, then just start with ads, generate income quick, and then reinvest that into other marketing strategies that are there for the long term. So.
No, awesome. I think that's really, really solid advice. And there's actually a part in Google's algorithm that people don't actually know until it came out recently, is when Google's looking at a domain, instead of just saying, all right, it gets all its traffic from organic search, SEO, and it's ranking really high, so it's going to be the best site. If you have all your traffic from one source, it actually goes against you in terms of SEO, because Google wants to rank an organic brand, right, that has SEO, Google ads. And if you look at it, even for ourselves, we're an SEO agency, but we don't just do SEO. We run paid ads, paid social as well. We do email marketing. We do a lot of stuff, and that's what a real business would do. So if you take an omni-channel approach, like you was just saying, you're pretty much doing what any real business would do. And that's all we're trying to do, right?
It's just Google about thinking where to allocate more in a specific time frame and how to switch around. So that's the strategy you're looking at.
Oh, awesome.
And also, since we're on that topic, what are some common misconceptions or pitfalls that ecom brands should be aware of? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say, like, if I start with the paid search side of things, right? We had a call actually yesterday with a client who said, yeah, like, what is my average CPC, like my average cost per click going to be from this campaign? It's like, that it's important, but it's not the real metric you should be tracking, right? Because if an average cost per click costs £100 for one click, but for every click you generate a sell, and maybe your average order value is £2,000, like, you wouldn't mind spending £100 a click, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Where, yes, we can get you an average cost per click of 50p, but you may need to get 10 million clicks to generate a sell. So looking at average cost per click, I think it's something where too many brands go wrong. What you should be focused on is your conversion value. How much is it costing to generate one conversion? And again, it's very easy to get confused with so many metrics out there. People get overwhelmed, right? CPC, CTR, conversion rates, bounce rate. Like, it's crazy, right? Even just saying that, it's not talking another language. Like, there's so much stuff out there. So I think from paid search side of things, like, focus on the customer value cost. That is what you really should be optimizing your campaigns for. From the organic search standpoint, so the opposite, I would say it's keywords. I want page one rankings, and like, that's great, but as you know, page one rankings doesn't always translate to sales if you're on page one for an informational intent keyword.
And going back to what you said, with SEO, you can rank high for a lot of keywords, and we're generating organic traffic and we're getting a lot of users on your website, but if they're not converting, then that's not enough. So you need to look 100%. Into optimizing user experience and conversion rates.
Yeah, for sure. But the ultimate metric to track from an SEO campaign would be organic revenue. Like, you need to know how much money you're making. You can set that very easy in GA4, conversion tracking and goals and stuff like that. But I would say, so for paid search, it's the conversion cost, and for organic search, it's literally your organic revenue. Like, that should be going up every single month as your rankings increase, because that's what happens, right? You rank number one, you get more traffic, you make more money organically. So that is definitely the key things to focus on. So if we imagine a brand who is running organic search and paid search, so Google Ads and SEO, how can they leverage one, for example, paid search to support the SEO campaign?
So since with paid ads, Google offers you a lot of data because you are paying Google. So you can see a lot more keywords and how users arrive on your website. Whereas with SEO, it's harder to get that data. So Google Ads is really great with supporting keyword research and showing you so many different ways users search for terms to get to your website. So that's one way to support the SEO campaign with Google Ads, keyword research.
Yeah, awesome. And the great thing about Google Ads as well, as you're paying Google for that data, they will tell you what search term resulted in a conversion. So if you sell, I don't know, let's say men's razor blades, right? And you've got men's razor blade, men's blue razor blade, and men's black razor blade, right? You will know how many clicks each keyword has generated, but most importantly, what color, what variant, what term is generating the sales. And you can then focus your SEO efforts on that. So, I mean, let's admit it. We love it when a client comes to us and they spend a lot of money on Google Ads and they want to do SEO. It's like, we have so much data to leverage. Like, so I think if you're running Google Ads, there's no reason why you shouldn't be running SEO because the two literally run in sync.
Yeah,
it's the same platform.
Yeah. And most of our successful campaigns are a blended approach. Oh,
100%.
That goes back to how you should not focus only on one channel, but focusing on multiple channels, it's a lot better at the end of the day. So I can tell that's a lot of information. So if you have a budget of 10K, for example, how would you allocate that?
Great question. So I think you definitely want to be aligning the budget on platforms that line up with your goals. So if you're trying to build brand awareness, again, you pretty much know what to do. SEO probably isn't the best channel for that. So number one is identifying your goals. Like, what are you actually trying to achieve? In terms of percentage splits, I would say I would be allocating 30% for organic. So you've got a good chunk building towards the future, getting a lower CAC, right? Because again, customer acquisition cost through organic is super, super low because you're not paying for every click you generate, but it takes a while to get there. So again, if you want to generate sales immediately, SEO is not really the thing for you, but you still want to be doing SEO for the long-term brand. So 30% of your marketing budget on SEO, I think would be advised. I would then add another 45% for paid search. The reason being is paid search is a lot more instant, it's a lot more trackable, it's a lot more measurable, and you can use that data to support your SEO campaign as well. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone by allocating more to paid search. And like I said, paid social still has its place in the space. So I would allocate 25% of that to help build the brand, get in front of people, especially the Gen Z generation, that are always on Instagram, TikTok, and scrolling for hours and hours, right? So again, you want to get seen in front of them, but whether they're going to convert as much as paid search and organic search, I'm still not convinced. But again, you want to be doing everything. So I've pretty much said 3 different platforms: organic search, paid search, and paid social. So again, going back to what you said initially, right? Omnipresent is what you should be doing. And that is a percentage recommendation that
nice one. Yeah.
I'd go for.
And what actionable advice can you offer brands to identify and capitalize on the best marketing channels?
Good. Keyword research, I think, comes down to every channel, whether you're making video content for YouTube, videos for TikTok, or even just making content on part of your website, right? If you don't understand what your users are searching for, then how can you create content or even answer the questions? So what we find to work really well in our organic SEO campaigns is if we're working with a client maybe that sells electric bikes, for example, yes, we'll have a commercial transactional page about best electric bikes, top 10 electric bikes, maybe fat tire electric bikes, low, all those types of keywords, right? But not everyone's ready to buy. They want to learn more about the product, the pros and cons. So you also see a lot of keyword search volume for the pros and cons of electric bikes. How much do electric bikes cost, right? And you can just cover that in a typical blog post format, right? As part of SEO, but why not turn that blog post into a video and make it quite funny, more engaging, share it on TikTok, share it on YouTube. And again, it all goes back to understanding, like, what are people searching for? So keyword research, I think, is one of the most important parts to determine what you should be creating content about.
Yeah, and then setting goals. I'm very big with goals. Yeah. It's just, I think everything revolves around goals. And if you set those clearly, then everything will be smoother.
Agreed. Yeah. Julia is our goal queen, if you haven't already realized. Also, so I think that wraps up the first one.
Nice one.
So yeah, just a nice free-flowing conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got a lot of value from that. I've been Josh.
I'm Julia, and I don't know where it is, but subscribe, like, and then
we got to figure out
leave a comment. Yeah.
Where do you point? Left, right,
yeah,
down?
I think
I don't know.
It was here with the subscribe, and then like is there, and comments as well.
Also, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.